Today's blooper section is going to be phenomenal. Hi, thank you for being here. And what was supposed to be one video is now going to be two videos. And this one is really as briefly summarized as I could while still maintaining the value in the information. Today we're talking about life on board cruise ships after the pandemic and what it means like to be a photographer on board. And this is very summed up and rounded within my experience. A couple of months ago, it's been a year since I returned to sea after the pandemic. As I got a bit nostalgic, I was thinking on how my life has changed in the past year or so, and I thought I'd share it with you today from a career point of view. First of all, is this job for everyone? Nope, I don't believe so. Ideally, it takes time to experience this career and to reach a conclusion on your own for yourself, on whether you like it or not. I've had many established photographers who actually wanted to return to sea. However, they've done such an amazing job setting their business through the pandemic and after the pandemic that they couldn't afford to cancel all their bookings or all their filled agendas for the future to return to sea. And I really respected that they're showing this much commitment and respect to their clients as well as to the work they have put towards their future at that given time. This is not the only reason why people shouldn't come to sea. I just don't think this job is for everyone. Not all experience in photography is relevant here, and not everything that we do here is relevant for everyone else's experience, plus everything else that this lifestyle implies for the personal life as well as for potentially family life. My background is a combination of studying and practicing in Romania, UK, and later on internationally in areas of photography such as fashion and performance photography, corporate photography, product photography, aerial photography, weddings and events, as well as videography, and I'm pretty sure I'm leaving some of them out. And what I mean by this is that my career and experience is not only resumed to the one at sea, and if anything, being here is a choice, is a personal choice, not a career limitation. I didn't become a photographer at sea, not that there's anything wrong with people who've become photographers at sea, but I'm trying to say that perhaps I have a more in-depth experience or insights within this career. I kept thinking how different my experience at sea has been prior to the pandemic and after. Before, I was a strong photographer, but I was struggling mentally with some elements, perhaps of the lifestyle or of the role, I'm not sure, but I feel like I was surviving the lifestyle more than I was thriving in it. During the pandemic, I've returned home and I've opened my own company in Romania, and things were progressing really well. I was very grateful at all times for all of my clients, but only a small part of me was functioning at an optimal level. When I was made aware of the possibility of coming back to sea, an option that I thought was closed for me, everything clicked in place. I returned to sea stronger, more aware and accountable, and with more intention and purpose. This would be a phenomenal time for you to subscribe. Thank you for being here. When it comes to this career and this job, here are some elements that weigh in heavier with this career at sea. People everywhere, in front of the camera, within your team, within the ship, with your shoreside team. Having the right people skills, a positive attitude, kind approach, a willingness to learn and adapt, as well as a fair mindset can take you really far. Tell me honestly in the comments, are you a people person? Can be exceptionally talented in one area of the role, like you could be highly technical or you could be incredible with sales, but to do everything consistent, to be able to perform well in all the areas of this role for about 6 months up to 9 months straight, this can be like a serious, masterful skill. You live where you work where you live. How you conduct yourself at all times, especially when you think you're not being watched or heard, is just as important as what you do during your working hours. There are plenty of distractions of all sorts that could easily make you forget the main reason you took the job in the first place. And then there's also the element that you work in repetitive high volumes. For example, we are on a ship at the moment with 4,500 guests who are going to disembark in 2 weeks, and then another 4 to 5,000 guests are going to join the ship. So the workload is highly systematic and repetitive, but then comes your personality, talent, your style, which ties in everything together beautifully and makes the work timeless and meaningful. These past years for me have been more connected to learning how to lead and manage. It's an immediate exposure to very different cultures, ethical principles, and moral values. It's easy to assume that everyone comes from the same level of seriousness and dedication as you do, but it's not always the case. This part of the role heavily influences your experience on board, both how you manage people as well as how you're being managed. When I worked on land, I was knowledgeable in various areas, which often led to me doing the work of 8 people for the same project. I much prefer working on an existing structure and developing it. One of the coolest things I've done in the past year was launching 2 ships. From the smallest pen and sticky note to the progression plan and training of all of my team members. Another element that is very important within your experience at sea is your personal projects. I'm a firm believer that if you're a real photographer, you take inspiration from the lifestyle and you take joy in creating personal projects outside the job. This is a highly cinematic job, working on a moving building this size. I'm in awe of how beautiful the sea is at every given time, as well as the aesthetics of all the events on board, as well as the beauty of the places we visit in port. I've had many views and many pros and cons and comparison conversations on this topic, most of them in my head. And yeah, I do believe that on land you can earn significantly more. Not everyone though. However, I'm not sure I could earn enough right now if I were to step off the ship in order to afford the same sort of lifestyle, especially when it comes to traveling. By the way, we just docked in St. Martin. I earn consistently without being concerned of expenses such as rent, food, commute, gym, and a lot of entertainment and a lot of the facilities on board I can access. The beauty of this role and career is often in the most mundane things. I truly enjoy spending a January Monday morning in the Caribbean on the beach, even if it's just for a couple of hours. I've sacrificed Christmas, New Year's Eve, and a lot of other family events and turned the most mundane moments into something that's, to be honest, quite close to a luxury lifestyle to afford these sort of commodities. Funny enough, I was actually talking about the expenses on going to the beach, the taxi fares being quite expensive, and I said, well, it's a lot cheaper to pay for a taxi from the terminal to the beach than it is to pay for a flight from Europe to the Caribbean. So I really enjoy when I'm off work what's around me, whether it's within a break or a day off, or all the environment and context around the job as well as within the job, where we are when we need to do the job. There's a lot of beauty, unpredictable environments and ever-changing circumstances. I don't know why I'm whispering. Having access is a really cool feature of the role. You have access both within main events as well as behind the scenes moments. It's a highly dynamic role. You move around the ship a lot, you move around the guests a lot, you can be around high profile celebrities, or you could be somewhere like in a complete confidential operation, celebration, event, and the access you have is truly beautiful. You're not like stuck within a room or a confined space or an office or a kitchen or a limited environment. You can move around quite freely. I've seen some truly dramatic opinions and takes on this lifestyle, and I've heard it being compared to slavery and truly extreme concepts. I'm aware not all of the companies run the same, and some are more intense than others. I've had experiences kind of at both ends and both mentalities around it. At the end of the day, you always have the dramatic complainers or the efficient ninjas. I see people who thrive on this lifestyle compared to the own work and career they've had on land, and believe me, this doesn't mean that they haven't been successful on land. I see people doing their job easily, rapidly, and gracefully. And on the other hand, you always have the ones who forget they've signed up for a job, not for a free cruise, and then it snowballs from there. Thank you for being here. See you next time. Jesus Christ, you don't need to see everything. Yeah. Every time. Well, that didn't go wrong. You know what? I really dislike filming from below, but I'm always so close to breaking something. So close. I wish I could see if I'm overexposed or underexposed. I really would. I really, really would. But no. Shit. I jinxed it. Today's blooper section is gonna be phenomenal. Hi. I am happy to announce that in the production of this video, no wine glasses were smashed. But I was really close. Yours was... Years. Money, money, money. I'm having way too much fun making fun of myself when I record these things. Don't take yourself too seriously. Whispering.